My roommate labeled my food. I followed the rules. When I moved in with Colin, he seemed normal, friendly even, showed me around the apartment, pointed out which shelf in the fridge was mine, and said we'd get along great. That lasted exactly 1 week. I came home from work on a Friday to find sticky notes plastered all over the kitchen, on the fridge, on the cabinets, on the microwave. Each one had the same handwriting in aggressive red marker. Label all food, or it gets thrown out. No exceptions. Colin. I opened the fridge. My leftover pasta from the night before was gone. So was my milk, my eggs. Everything I'd bought that week had vanished. I found Colin on the couch playing video games. Hey, where's my food? He didn't even look up. Threw it out. Wasn't labeled. I stood there stunned. You threw out $50 worth of groceries? House rules. He shrugged. Should have read the lease addendum. What lease addendum? He paused his game and pulled out a crumpled paper from the coffee table, slid it toward me. There it was, a typed document he'd apparently added after I signed. Rule 7. All food must be clearly labeled with owner's name and date. Unlabeled items will be discarded after 24 hours. I never agreed to this. Your signature's on the lease. This is part of the lease. He smiled. Better start labeling. I wanted to argue. I wanted to throw something, but I'd already paid first and last month's rent. Breaking the lease would cost me thousands. Fine, I'd play his game. The next morning, I went to the store and bought a label maker. Professional grade, the kind offices use for filing systems. I labeled everything, every single item, my name and the date in perfect block letters on every container, every bag, every bottle. Colin watched me do it with this smug look on his face. Finally learning. Oh, I was learning. That night, I noticed something. Colin's protein powder wasn't labeled. Neither was his fancy coffee creamer. His organic eggs sat on the shelf completely unmarked. I checked his rules again. All food must be clearly labeled. Unlabeled items will be discarded after 24 hours. No exceptions, right? I set a timer on my phone for exactly 4 hours. The next evening at 6:15 p.m., I opened the fridge. Colin's stuff was still unlabeled. I threw out his protein powder, his creamer, his eggs, his meal prep containers, and a $40 bottle of cold brew. Colin came home around 9 p.m. I heard him open the fridge and go completely silent. Then he stormed into my room without knocking. Where the hell is my stuff? I looked up from my laptop, threw it out, wasn't labeled. His face turned purple. That's different. I know it's mine. I pulled out his own paper and read it back to him. All food must be clearly labeled. Unlabeled items will be discarded after 24 hours. No exceptions. He snatched the paper from my hand. I wrote these rules. They don't apply to me. Doesn't say that anywhere. He stood there breathing hard. Fine, whatever. The next day, Colin labeled his stuff. Problem solved, right? Wrong, because I noticed something else. His labels just said Colin. No date. His rules clearly stated name and date. I waited 24 hours. Then I threw out everything without a date. Colin screamed so loud the neighbors knocked on our door to ask if someone was hurt. This went on for 3 weeks. Every loophole I found, I exploited. His rules said items must be in sealed containers. His leftover pizza was in an open box. Gone. His rules said the label must be clearly visible. His name was hidden behind another container. Discarded. He tried updating the rules. Every time he did, I found a new technicality. His addendum said food only. His expensive shampoo in the shower wasn't labeled. I threw it out too. That's not food, he screamed. Doesn't say the rules only apply to the kitchen. Just says all items must be labeled in shared spaces. I watched a grown man have a breakdown over conditioner. By the end of month 2, Colin approached me with a white flag. Literally, a napkin on a stick. I surrender. No more rules. You can keep whatever you want, wherever you want. I smiled. Can I get that in writing? He wrote a new addendum nullifying all previous rules. Signed and dated. I laminated it and stuck it on the fridge. We actually became decent roommates after that. Turns out Colin had a control issue from a previous living situation where his stuff kept getting stolen. Didn't excuse his behavior, but I understood it. Last month, he moved out to live with his girlfriend. Before he left, he handed me a label maker as a gift. The note attached said, "For the next roommate who tries this garbage, I'm keeping it in the drawer, just in case."